Have you ever asked yourself, why do I keep falling sick even when I take medicines? Why do I feel tired, anxious, or sad even when doctors say everything is normal? Have you noticed how some people stay healthy even without pills, while others struggle even after many treatments? Imagine this. A farmer has two fields. One field he waters, nourishes, and keeps clean. The other field he sprays with chemicals, but never removes the weeds or rocks. Which one will grow better? The same goes for your body. If you don't care for your inner world, your mind, your habits, your thoughts, no medicine will truly help. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a place where we explore how deep peace and real healing can come from within you, not from outside. In this series, you will learn how to naturally cure yourself without medicines by using ancient Buddhist wisdom in the simplest ways. You won't just feel better, you'll understand yourself more than ever before. But before we begin this powerful journey, here's something you should know. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribed. That's a tiny number. So if you find even one sentence helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It takes you just a second, but it helps us reach more people who are silently suffering just like you. Now let's begin. Buddhism teaches us that the body and mind are deeply connected. What you think, feel, and believe directly affects how you breathe, sleep, digest, and heal. Medicines may fix the surface, but the roots stay untouched. The Buddha did not give tablets. He gave tools of awareness, patience, and self-understanding. In this first part, we're going to explore how natural healing is not about what you take, but how you live, what you eat, how you sit, what you speak, how you think, and most importantly, what you let go of. True healing starts when you stop chasing cures and start understanding causes. Let's take this first step together. Understanding the true cause of illness through the Dharma. Sit quietly, dear one. Let's not rush. Healing does not like hurry. You have walked a long path of medicines, of pain, of confusion. Now come, sit by this old monk. Let's talk about what really makes us ill, not just in the body, but in the heart, in the mind, in life. You may have thought, it's the food I eat, the pollution, the stress at work. And yes, those things matter, but they are not the root. They are like smoke. If you only chase smoke, you never find the fire. And unless you find the fire, you can never put it out. The Buddhist said, all things arise from causes and conditions. Illness too. It doesn't just appear. It grows, slowly, secretly, from how we think, from what we cling to, from what we refuse to see. Look at your life for a moment. Not just the medical reports. Look deeper. Are you holding on to anger that never softened? Are you living in fear that keeps your chest tight and your nights sleepless? Are you carrying guilt that makes your stomach churn? Are you forcing yourself to smile when your spirit is tired and begging for rest? This is where illness begins. Not all at once. No, like drops of water that fill a bowl. You don't notice it at first. One worry, one harsh word, one broken promise to yourself. But slowly the bowl fills. And when it spills, there is disease, discomfort, and despair. But the Dharma, this ancient path of truth, it doesn't just point at the problem. It shows us the root. And only when we see the root, we can begin to change. Let me tell you a simple story. There was a monk who was always coughing. No medicine helped. No herbs, no rest. His teacher said, sit in silence. Watch your breath. Listen to your body. The monk did. At first, nothing changed. But slowly, he noticed something. Whenever he thought about his past failures, his chest tightened. Whenever he tried to prove himself, his breath shortened. He was not sick because of the weather. He was sick because he was choking on unspoken sadness. He cried. He forgave himself. He let go. And over time, the cough disappeared. Not because of a pill, but because of truth. He found a real cause. Now let us come back to you. Do you believe your body is separate from your thoughts? That your heart can be heavy, but your health light? It is not so. The Dharma teaches that the body, mind, and heart are one. Like the three corners of a triangle. You move one, the shape changes. That is why a peaceful mind becomes a medicine. That is why forgiveness becomes a treatment. That is why slowing down becomes healing. So what can you do starting today? First, stop fighting your illness. Listen to it. It is trying to tell you something. Maybe it's saying, you are tired of pretending. Maybe it's whispering, you have forgotten how to rest. Maybe it's reminding you, you need to love yourself more. Don't push those messages away. Receive them gently. Second, notice what thoughts you feed your mind every day. Are they thoughts of worry, comparison, self-judgment, or thoughts of trust, presence, and quiet joy? The Buddha said, what we think we become. So if you want to become healthy, you must begin with healthy thoughts. Third, change how you see your pain. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your messenger. Pain comes not to punish you, but to guide you. Yes, it hurts, but also speaks. It says, you are out of balance. When a wheel turns unevenly, it shakes. Your life is shaking because something is not aligned. Your purpose, your pace, your peace. So how do we realign? Not by force, not by fixing everything outside, but by sitting quietly, breathing deeply, and asking, what have I forgotten? Have I forgotten to be kind to myself? Have I forgotten to enjoy simple things? Have I forgotten to stop chasing and start living? You don't need to go to the Himalayas. You don't need a perfect routine. You need only to begin with awareness. Let's take a breath together now. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Feel your chest rise like a calm ocean wave. Feel your breath as a bridge between body and soul. This is your medicine, and it costs nothing, and it has no side effects, and it's always with you. The Dharma does not tell you to escape life. It invites you to see life clearly, just as it is. When you stop resisting what is and start accepting gently, you start healing. If you're sick, do not just ask, what should I take? Also ask, what should I stop doing? Stop blaming yourself. Stop rushing through your days. Stop thinking you are not enough. Start watching your breath. Start talking kindly to yourself. Start living as if your body is your dearest friend. Not a machine, not a burden, but a friend. Every illness carries a teaching. Will you receive it? Every discomfort is an invitation. Will you attend? You're not weak. You're not broken. You are just someone who has forgotten the way back to stillness. But the good news? The path is still here. It has never left you. And I, this old Zen monk, am only reminding you of what you already know deep inside. Your real cure is not in another bottle, another doctor, or another miracle. Your real cure is in returning to simplicity, truth, presence. So next time you feel tired, don't ask, what can I buy? Ask instead, what have I ignored? Next time your body aches, don't say this is bad. Say instead, this is a message. I will listen. You are healing now, not because I said something magical, but because something in you just remembered the truth. Stay with that truth. Sit quietly a little longer. Close your eyes, breathe, and say to yourself, I am willing to heal. Naturally, gently, with truth, with love. We will continue together. One step, one breath, one truth at a time. The power of mindfulness in healing the body. The Zen Master sat beneath an old fig tree, his hands resting gently on his knees. The sun filtered through the leaves, painting golden shapes on the ground. A small group of seekers sat in front of him, eyes wide with hope. He began to speak, not in loud words or sharp commands, but like the wind passing through bamboo. Calm, steady, alive. You want to heal? He asked, looking into their eyes. Then be here. Not there. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Just here. Many people believe that healing comes only through pills, injections, or surgery. But the Master smiled gently. No, he said, real healing starts with your attention. And that attention is called mindfulness. Mindfulness is not a trick. It is not a technique you learn and forget. It is your ability to live fully in this moment, as it is, without escaping, judging, or controlling. The Master explained, when your mind runs wild like a monkey, your body follows. It becomes tense, tired, weak. But when your mind becomes still, like a lake without ripples, the body begins to rest and repair itself. He paused. A bird chirped in the distance. Your body is listening to your thoughts all day long. Are you speaking words of fear, worry, and doubt? Or are you speaking words of patience, trust, and peace? What you whisper to your own heart becomes the medicine or the poison you carry. The master told a story of an old monk who once fell very ill. The young monks rushed to bring herbs, ointments, prayers. But the old monk simply smiled and said, "Let me first breathe." For 7 days, he sat quietly, just breathing, in and out, slowly, fully. No distractions. And his fever melted away. Not because of a miracle, but because of deep, mindful rest. Your breath, said the master, is the bridge between your mind and your body. If your breath is shallow and rushed, your body becomes anxious. But if your breath is deep and gentle, your body starts to feel safe. And when the body feels safe, it begins to heal. He instructed the seekers to try a small practice. Place your hand on your chest. Feel the rise and fall. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out completely. Say quietly in your mind, "I am here. I am healing." Repeat this every day, not just once. Make it a way of living. Mindfulness is not only sitting silently with closed eyes. It is how you drink water, how you chew your food, how you respond to anger, how you rest your tired legs after a long day. Every moment can be a healing temple if you are awake in it. The master noticed a young woman with tears in her eyes. She whispered, "But I'm always worried. I can't control my thoughts." The master nodded kindly. "You don't need to control the thoughts," he said. "You just need to see them. See the worry rise and breathe with it. Watch it like you watch clouds pass in the sky. You're not the cloud. You are the sky, clear, wide, and untouched." He reminded them that thoughts, when left unseen, become heavy. They stay stuck in a body like old dust. But when seen with mindfulness, they dissolve like morning mist. This is how the Buddha healed, he said, not with fight, but with awareness. He told another story. Once, a man came to the Buddha, asking for help with constant headaches. The Buddha gave him no herbs, no chant. He simply asked, "How much tension do you carry in your shoulders?" The man was confused. The Buddha gently touched his back and said, "You are always leaning into the future. You never sit back in the present." And the man realized he was never truly here. Always planning, always fearing, always running. He began to practice mindfulness, not just for 5 minutes, but in every act. Slowly, his pain reduced. His head felt light again, not because of something added, but because of something released. The Zen Master now looked at his listeners. "Every pain in the body is a message," he said. "A knock on your door. It says, listen, come back, rest here." But many people shut the door, take a tablet, and move on. They never open the letter, he said with a smile. He guided them to listen to their own body without judgment. If your knee hurts, don't hate it. Don't push it away. Sit with it. Touch it kindly. Ask, "What are you trying to tell me?" This gentle attention is not weakness. It is power. Mindfulness makes you a friend to yourself. Most people live like enemies inside their own skin, forcing, hurrying, judging. But when you become kind and present, the body blooms again like a thirsty plant given rain. One seeker asked, "Is this enough for serious illness?" The master replied, "This is not the only path, but it is the first one. Medicine without mindfulness is like water in a broken pot. It leaks. But when you are mindful, every medicine works better. Every cell listens better. Healing speeds up, not by force, but by flow." He also warned, don't rush the process. Healing is not like instant noodles. It takes time and trust. He shared how even trees take seasons to recover after a storm. "Why then," he asked, "do you expect your soul to heal in one night?" Then he smiled softly. "But if you stay steady, even just a little, you will see the magic. Your sleep will deepen. Your digestion will improve. Your face will soften. Your breath will feel sweeter. Your heart will feel warmer. And slowly, like sunrise after a long night, your body will come back to life." The Zen Master ended with one last reminder. Be where your feet are. Feel the floor beneath you. Feel your breath. Hear the sounds around you. Let the healing begin now, not tomorrow, not someday, not after everything is perfect. Just now. This moment is enough. The group sat silently, soaking in the simplicity. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive, just presence, just peace, just being with what is. And in that silence, something subtle began to heal. How attachment creates suffering and sickness. Sit down gently, dear listener. Let the breath become soft. Today, I will share with you something that quietly harms most people without them even knowing it. It is not a poison you drink, but it lives in the mind. It is not a knife, yet cuts deeply. It is not a storm outside, but it shakes your world within. It is called attachment. You may wonder, what's wrong with being attached? Isn't it normal? Yes, it is very normal. But so is pain. So is heartbreak. So is falling sick when we don't let go. Let me explain slowly. Attachment is when your peace depends on something staying exactly the way you want. It could be a person, a job, a routine, a plan, a result, or even your own thoughts. And when that something changes, breaks, or leaves, you suffer. Not because of the thing itself, but because of your tight grip on it. Let me give you a small story. Once a monk saw a man crying beside a broken pot. The monk asked, "Why are you crying?" The man said, "This pot was my favorite. I used it every day. Now it's broken." The monk replied, "You're not crying because the pot is broken. You're crying because you thought it would never break." That is attachment. The pot was always temporary. Just like everything. Our health, our relationships, our youth, our success, they're all like that pot. But we forget this truth. We expect the temporary to behave like the permanent. And when it doesn't, we feel pain, not just in our heart, but also in our body. Yes, even the body suffers from attachment. How? When you're attached to someone's approval and they criticize you, your stomach may twist. When you're attached to money and lose some, your chest may tighten. When you're attached to control and things go wrong, you may feel anxiety, headaches, sleepless nights. This is no magic, it is cause and effect. Buddha said, attachment is the root of suffering. He did not say, money is suffering. He did not say, love is suffering. He said, attachment is suffering. Even a good thing, when held too tightly, becomes poison. A child holding a butterfly softly enjoys its beauty. But if the child grips it too hard, the wings break. So it is with life. Attachment makes you hold life too tightly. It turns freedom into fear. It turns joy into anxiety. It turns love into control. And yes, it turns a healthy body into a sick one. The tension of the mind becomes tension in the body. Unresolved emotions create energy blocks. Your breath becomes shallow. Your muscles become stiff. Your organs get less rest. And slowly, illness starts to grow like weeds in an untended garden. Buddhist healing is not just about herbs or chants. It is about clearing the heart. When you release attachment, your body softens. Your breath deepens. Your nerves relax. And healing begins naturally without effort. Let me give you another example. A woman was deeply attached to her job. She worked long hours, even when she was tired. She feared losing it, feared failure, feared what others would say. Slowly, her back began to ache. Her digestion weakened. Her sleep became broken. Doctors gave medicines, but nothing worked for long. Then, she came to a monastery. The old monk asked her, "Why do you fear so much?" She said, "I'm afraid of losing my job." He smiled and said, "What you truly fear is losing your worth. But your worth is not in your work. It is in your awareness." He taught her to sit quietly, breathe, and watch her thoughts, to loosen the grip on her fears, to gently say to herself, "This too may change, and I will still be here." After weeks of practice, something changed, not outside but inside her. Her body became lighter, her face softer. Her symptoms began to disappear. No medicine, just mindfulness. No magic, just letting go. So now, dear one, look in your life. What are you tightly holding? Who or what do you think you cannot live without? Is that belief making you sick? This question is not to make you feel guilty. It is to help you wake up, to return to your true power. You don't have to throw everything away. You just have to loosen the grip. Love, but let it flow. Work, but let go of results. Care, but don't cling. Enjoy, but don't expect permanence. Healing begins when we stop demanding the world to behave the way we want. It begins when we start watching our mind gently like clouds passing by. Each thought, each desire, each fear, just clouds. You are not the cloud. You are the sky. Fushed, open, unbroken. The more you return to this truth, the more your body will thank you. Your cells listen to your silence. Your blood feels your peace. Your breath carries your freedom. So breathe and let go. If something must stay, it will. If something must go, let it. Your job is not to trap the wind, but to open the window. This is the middle path. Not extreme detachment, not coldness, not rejection, but gentle, wise freedom. The kind that smiles even when the pot breaks. To cure yourself naturally, look less at what you must fix outside and more what you must soften inside. That is the Zen way. That is the Buddha's whisper. That is the healing waiting in your own heart. Now sit with this. Don't rush. Let the words settle. And ask yourself, not what do I need more of, but what can I let go of? Letting go is not losing. Letting go is choosing peace. And peace is the most powerful medicine of all. We continue soon. Detoxing the mind, the first step to natural health. Sit down, child. Breathe slowly. Do you know why your body stays restless, even when your hands are still? Do you know why your chest feels heavy, even when you're not carrying anything? It is because your mind is carrying too much. Before you try to heal your body, you must clean your mind. This is the first step. This is the forgotten medicine. In the old Zen temples, before a monk would prepare tea, he would clean the cup. Not just rinse it, but clean it deeply. He would say, "A dirty cup will spoil even the best tea." In the same way, your mind is the cup. In your life, your thoughts, your breath, your health is the tea. If your mind is full of dust, no medicine, no food, no yoga can truly help you. First, we must detox the mind. What is the mind full of? Worries from yesterday, fear of tomorrow, regrets, anger, noise. So much noise. Even when the world outside is quiet, the world inside is shouting. What if this happens? Why do they say that to me? I'm not good enough. These thoughts are like smoke in a room. The longer you let them stay, the harder it is to breathe. Buddha never said, stop thinking. He said, watch your thoughts like a quiet river. Don't swim in it. Just sit on the bank and observe. When you observe, the water becomes still. And when the water is still, you can see clearly. Child, you brush your teeth every day. But do you brush your mind? Every morning, before you open your phone, open your breath. Sit for 2 minutes. Just 2. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. No need to chant. No need to imagine. Just feel the breath coming and going. That is the broom for your mind. Do it daily. Now listen carefully. There are 2 kinds of toxins. One enters through the body, bad food, pollution, lack of sleep. But the deeper poison enters through thoughts, envy, jealousy, fear, self-hate. You can eat all the healthy food in the world, but if you hate yourself while eating it, it becomes poison. That is why the Buddha taught Samma Sankappa, right thought. He said, let your thoughts be harmless, loving, and free. Not because it's spiritual, but because it is healing. If your thoughts are full of blame, your body becomes heavy. If your thoughts are kind, your body becomes light. In Zen practice, we tell people, if a fly falls into your tea, you don't curse the fly. You simply remove it and drink. If an angry thought enters your mind, don't fight it. Don't feed it. Just watch it, breathe, and let it pass. That is mental detox. One man came to me and said, Master, I eat fruits and vegetables. I walk every morning, yet I have stomach pain every day. I looked at him and said, do you also digest your thoughts? He didn't understand. So I said, when you argue with your wife, do you carry the anger for hours? He said, yes. I said, that is your stomach pain. You see, emotions are stored in the body. When you suppress sadness, it becomes fatigue. When you hold anger, it becomes acidity. When you fear too much, your breath becomes short, your sleep gets shallow. So we must learn to release, not just through words, but through stillness. Stillness is medicine. Silence is medicine. Not the silence of lips, but silence of reaction. When your friend says something hurtful, and you don't react, there is healing. When you fail at something and you don't attack yourself, there is healing. But how do we begin this? It sounds simple, but the mind is tricky. Start with one practice. I call it mental sweeping. Before sleeping, close your eyes and mentally sweep the day. From morning to night, remember what you did, who you met, what you felt. If you find a moment that was painful, stop. Breathe. Say it's okay. I release it now. Don't suppress. Just let it go like letting go of a leaf in the wind. Over time, this becomes a habit. The mind becomes clean, like a floor washed every night. Then when stress comes, it doesn't stick. When fear comes, it slides off. That is the benefit of daily detox. Another practice we teach in Zen is called walking awareness. When you walk, don't just walk. Feel the foot touch the ground. Feel the air touch your skin. No need to talk to anyone. No need to rush. Just walk like a tree, moving with grace. Even 10 minutes a day of mindful walking is better than 1 hour of running with tension. Buddhism is not against medicine, but it says, don't only treat the fruit, treat the root. If you take pills for headache, but never solve the stress that causes it, the pain will return. If you eat for nutrition, but feed your mind with news, gossip, and comparison, the health won't stay. So child, be gentle. Don't rush. Detoxing the mind is not one-day work. Just like a pond needs time to become clear after the mud is stirred, your mind also needs time. But every day that you sit quietly, every day you forgive, every time you choose silence over anger, every time you breathe instead of reacting, you are healing. Not just your mind, but your body too. And that is natural medicine. No side effects, no cost, just presence. In the old Zen garden, we don't plant many flowers. We remove weeds. We say, when weeds go, flowers grow. In the same way, you don't need to add more motivation, more stimulation, more things. You just need to remove what doesn't belong. Remove the tension. Remove the self-judgment. Remove the hurry. Health will come on its own. Peace will grow like a lotus in still water. Now go gently. Take one practice from today, either mindful breathing, mental sweeping, or walking awareness. Make it your small daily ritual, even if it's only 5 minutes. Do it with love, not pressure. Your mind is not your enemy. It is like a child. If you ignore it, it will scream. If you scold it, it will hide. But if you listen, sit beside it, and hold its hand, it will calm down. And when the mind calms, the body follows. This is how healing begins, without pills, without running, without panic. It begins in silence, with attention, with love. That is the true detox. And that is the path. Breath as medicine. Healing through awareness. Breath is life. This simple truth is known to all, yet few truly understand its power. When you are born, your first breath marks the beginning of your journey, and your last breath marks the end. Between these two moments, breath flows continuously, carrying with it the essence of life itself. The Buddha taught that breath is the bridge connecting body and mind. To understand breath is to understand healing in its purest form. Many people search outside for remedies, pills, therapies, even magic cures. But the deepest medicine lies within you, in every breath you take. When you breathe mindfully, you awaken a natural healing energy called pra, the life force. This energy flows through your body, cleansing, restoring, and renewing every cell. Think of your breath like the wind through the trees. When the wind blows gently, the leaves dance and the tree thrives. When the wind stops or is harsh, the tree becomes weak and silent. Similarly, when your breath flows calmly and fully, your whole being sings with health and peace. In daily life, we often take shallow, hurried breaths. Our minds are racing, worries crowd our thoughts, and our bodies tighten. This shallow breathing starves our organs of vital oxygen and weakens the life force. The result? Fatigue, pain, stress, and sickness. But by learning to breathe deeply and with attention, we restore balance. The Buddha taught anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing, as a powerful path to liberation. This practice is more than meditation. It is a medicine for the soul, and the body. When you observe your breath without judgment, you begin to release tension, anxiety, and suffering. The mind slows down, the heart softens, and the body heals. To start, find a quiet place. Sit comfortably with your back straight, but relaxed. Close your eyes gently. Begin by simply noticing your breath. Don't try to change it. Just watch it come in and go out. Feel the coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils and the warmth as it leaves. At first, your mind may wander. This is natural. When you notice your thoughts drifting, gently bring your attention back to the breath. This simple return, again and again, trains your mind to be present. Presence is the foundation of healing. As you become more aware of your breath, you may notice the breath lengthen naturally. Don't force it. Let it deepen on its own. Deep breathing massages your internal organs, helps circulation, and calms the nervous system. This calming effect lowers blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and strengthens immunity. Breath awareness is also a gateway to emotional healing. When you face anger, fear, or sadness, your breath changes. It becomes tight, fast, or irregular. By consciously breathing through these emotions, you soften them. Imagine your breath as a gentle river flowing through your body, washing away the heaviness of painful feelings. Try this now. When you feel upset, pause. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose to the count of 4. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale slowly through your mouth to the count of 6. Repeat this a few times. Notice how your body and mind respond. You may feel more grounded, less overwhelmed. In Buddhism, breath is also a symbol of impermanence. Each inhalation and exhalation reminds us that nothing lasts forever, neither pain nor pleasure. This understanding helps us accept difficult moments with less resistance, which itself promotes healing. Breathing mindfully can also connect you to the present moment, the only place where true healing happens. Often, people live in the past regrets or future worries, but the breath always belongs to now. When you anchor your awareness to the breath, you anchor yourself in the present, where your body can repair and your mind can rest. Beyond sitting practice, mindful breathing can be woven into your daily activities. While walking, washing dishes, or even working, bring your attention to your breath. This simple habit helps maintain calm and health throughout the day. There are ancient breathing techniques in Buddhism and other traditions that further enhance healing. For example, slow, rhythmic breathing supports the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural relaxation response. Practices like alternate nostril breathing balance the body's energies and clear blockages. However, the most important teaching is to breathe naturally and with kindness toward yourself. Don't judge your breath or force it unnaturally. Healing arises from gentle awareness, acceptance, and patience. Like a flower opening slowly to the sun, your breath will guide you towards wholeness in its own time. Remember, breath is not just a mechanical function. It is a sacred gift, a messenger of your inner health. When you listen deeply to your breath, you listen to your body's needs. You become your own healer. This understanding transforms how you relate to sickness and pain. Instead of fearing illness, you see it as a signal, a message from your body asking for attention, rest, and care. By breathing with compassion, you support your body's wisdom to restore balance naturally. Many modern studies confirm what the Buddha taught thousands of years ago. Mindful breathing reduces stress hormones, improves heart health, and even enhances brain function. But beyond science, the true power of breath is in the experience, the felt sense of calm, connection, and vitality that arises when you breathe fully and freely. In moments of pain or discomfort, your breath can be a refuge. Instead of resisting or distracting yourself, turn your awareness gently to the breath. Breathe into the pain, soften around it, and let the breath carry some of the burden away. This practice builds resilience and deepens self-trust. Let us also remember that breath connects us to the whole universe. When you breathe in, you take in the energy of the world. When you breathe out, you give back. This exchange reminds us we are not separate from nature, but part of a vast, living web. Healing yourself naturally means also healing your relationship with this web. In closing, cherish your breath as the most accessible and profound medicine. Practice mindful breathing daily. Use it to calm your mind, soothe your emotions, and heal your body. The breath is your constant companion, your healer within, your path back to peace. When you embrace breath as medicine, you awaken a deep harmony within yourself. This harmony ripples outward, touching every aspect of your life, your health, your relationships, and your spirit. Through the breath, you find a way to cure yourself naturally, without medicines, with wisdom and compassion guiding every step. Emotions and energy, clearing internal blockages. The Zen Master sat quietly beneath the ancient tree, the gentle breeze stirring the leaves above. He looked kindly at those gathered around him and spoke softly. Many people suffer not just because of what is outside, but because of what is held tightly inside. Inside, hidden like stones in a riverbed, are emotions and energy that block the natural flow of healing in your body. Have you ever noticed how anger makes your chest feel tight? How fear twists your stomach? Or how sadness sometimes weighs your whole body down? These are not just feelings. They are forms of energy trapped inside. This trapped energy disrupts the balance within you. And when the balance is lost, the body and mind begin to suffer. In Buddhist teaching, everything is connected. Your emotions are like clouds in the sky, sometimes dark, sometimes light, but if you hold on to these clouds, they gather and block the sun. That sun is your natural life, energy, your ability to heal, to grow, to feel peace. The Master paused, letting his words settle. To clear these blockages, you must first become aware of them. Awareness is the beginning of healing. When you feel anger rising, do not run from it or push it away. Instead, watch it like a calm observer. Notice where it lives in your body. Is it a tightness in your chest, a heat in your face, or a restless mind? Simply see it. Once you see it clearly, the energy changes. It loses power over you. This is how the Buddha taught mindfulness, being fully present to what is happening inside you without judgment or fear. The Master smiled gently and continued, "Next, breathe. The breath is your bridge to the present moment and the key to opening blockages. Breathe slowly, deeply, and imagine the breath as water flowing through a blocked stream. Each inhale brings fresh life energy. Each exhale carries away the stuck emotions. This is not magic, but natural law. Many forget this simple truth. They try to hide from their feelings or drown them in distractions, but this only makes the blockages worse. Imagine trying to clean a wound without first removing the dirt. The healing cannot begin until you face what lies beneath. In some cases, emotions become so stuck that they create patterns of pain or illness. These patterns repeat again and again, like a song on repeat in the mind and body. The Master calls these samskaras, old impressions left by past suffering. But do not be afraid, for just as water can wash away dirt, mindful awareness and gentle acceptance can wash away these old marks. He leaned forward slightly and said, "When you practice this clearing, you also restore your energy. This energy is called prana, chi, or simply life force. In Buddhism, it is seen as part of the 5 elements that compose your being. When prana flows freely, your body becomes vibrant and your mind calm. Yet, many do not understand that emotions are energy. We often think emotions are just mental states, but they also live in the body. They create knots in muscles, tension in organs, and barriers in circulation. Holding resentment can cause chronic pain. Fear can weaken the immune system. Anxiety disrupts sleep. Therefore, healing naturally requires a dance with emotions, not a battle. When you fight emotions, they grow stronger. When you accept and observe them, they fade. Like a candle flame touched by a gentle breath, emotions become soft and clear. The Master's voice grew soft as he shared a story. Once, a disciple came to the Buddha, troubled by anger. The Buddha said, Imagine you have a cup filled with muddy water. To see clearly, you must let the water settle and become still. The disciple practiced patience and mindfulness until his mind was like clear water, reflecting the world calmly. This story shows the way. Healing your emotions is like calming the water inside. When your inner water is still, your true nature shines. Now, how do you practice this every day? Start with small moments. When you feel upset, stop and breathe. Name the feeling quietly: anger, fear, sadness. Notice where it lives in your body. Do not run. Do not fight. Stay with it for a moment. Breathe into the place of pain or tension. Then imagine the breath flowing gently through this place, softening it, loosening it, allowing energy to move again. Over time, with practice, these moments build strength and clarity. The master's eyes sparkled as he spoke again. But what if the feelings are too strong? What if you are overwhelmed? Here, kindness is your best medicine. Be gentle with yourself. Do not judge yourself for what you feel. Remember, all beings suffer. You are not alone. Reach out for support if needed, but also remember your own power. Your body and mind have an amazing ability to heal when you allow them space. Patience and compassion for yourself are essential. He then explained, in Buddhism, we also learn about letting go. Holding on to emotions tightly is like clutching a hot coal. It burns you more than anyone else. Letting go does not mean forgetting or ignoring. It means releasing the grip, allowing yourself to be free. When you let go, you free energy. This free energy flows through your body, revitalizing cells, calming nerves, and restoring harmony. This is how natural healing works. The master sat back and said, one final teaching. Our emotions also connect us to others. When we clear our own blockages, our relationships improve. We feel more patience, love, and understanding. This creates a cycle of healing that touches all beings. Remember, healing is not just physical. It is a whole process of body, mind, and spirit. By working with your emotions as energy, you open the door to natural, deep, lasting health. Do not be afraid to look inside. There you will find the key to your healing. He smiled and concluded, begin today with simple awareness. Watch your feelings like clouds. Breathe with them. Let them pass. In this gentle way, you clear your blockages and open your path to natural wellness. Silence, solitude, and self-regeneration. Cool, mate. Sit down. Let's not rush today. Let's not talk too much either. In fact, let's start with something very rare in this noisy world: silence. Can you hear it? Not the silence of the room, but the silence within you. It's always been there. Beneath your thoughts, behind the noise of your worries, under the constant voice that tells you what to do, where to go, and how to fix yourself, that silence is waiting for you. In the practice of Buddhism, silence is not emptiness. Silence is full. It is full of answers, full of clarity, full of healing. When a pond is disturbed, you cannot see your reflection. But when the water becomes still, you see clearly. Your mind is just like that. If you want to truly heal, you must learn to become still. You must learn to be quiet. That is where true medicine begins. In today's world, people are always running from pain, from boredom, from their own minds. They fill their time with phones, television, gossip, noise, music, and endless scrolling. They think distraction will cure their sadness. But distraction is just another delay. The Buddha often left the villages and went into the forests, not because he hated people, but because he knew healing begins in solitude. He sat under a tree, alone, and watched his breath. Day after day, no medicine, no noise, just silence. And there, he found the deepest peace. Now listen to me carefully. Solitude is not loneliness. It is togetherness with yourself. It is the only time you can really hear what your body is saying, what your heart needs, what your spirit is whispering. Sometimes, people fall sick again and again because they never stop to hear their soul speak. They never take time to rest, to breathe, to sit in stillness. They treat their body like a machine, always working, always pushing, always proving. But even a machine breaks down without rest. How long do you think your body can run like this? You're not a robot. You are a breathing being with a heart, with emotions, with energy that needs to return to balance. So I ask you, when was the last time you sat alone, without your phone, without music, without talking, and just listened? Not listen to a podcast, not listen to a teacher, but listen to yourself? There's a healing intelligence in you, but it speaks in a very quiet voice. And to hear it, you need silence. Do not be afraid of being alone. Solitude is sacred. It is not something to run from. It is something to enter gently. It is a temple, a cave, a garden inside your heart. The Buddha taught that silence purifies speech. It also purifies thought. And when thoughts become pure, emotions calm down. When emotions calm down, the body begins to heal. You see, your sickness is not just physical. It is emotional, mental, spiritual. And when you go into silence, all of these layers begin to come into light. You start seeing where the wounds are. You begin to feel what has been hiding under the surface for years. But you must not judge what you find. When you sit in silence, you may feel restlessness. That's normal. It's the body releasing years of stored energy. You may feel tears coming. That's healing. Let them come. You may feel bored. That's only because you're used to being overstimulated. Stay. Stay a little longer each time. Sit quietly, breathe gently, and do nothing. Yes, do nothing. This is the most powerful medicine. Even in Zen practice, we have a phrase, sit, just sit. It means no goal, no ambition, no expectation. Just sit and be. Healing happens not because you chase it, but because you stop disturbing what is already trying to grow inside you. The trees do not shout to grow. The river doesn't make noise to flow. The sun doesn't scream to shine. Everything in nature heals and moves in silence. And so should you. Many illnesses come not because the body is broken, but because the soul is tired. The spirit is overwhelmed. And your true self is buried under too much noise. To heal naturally, you need time with yourself. Not with screens, not with people, just with your breath, just with your presence. Walk alone in the park without headphones. Wake up early and sit with the rising sun. Turn off the lights, sit by a candle, and close your eyes. These small, silent acts create huge healing inside you. You do not need expensive treatments. You need presence, awareness, simplicity, and space. Solitude creates that space. Silence fills that space with energy. And that energy brings you back to life. Let me tell you a story. A student once came to an old Zen master and said, "Master, I am sick, my heart is heavy, my mind is full, and my body is tired. Please give me a solution." The master smiled and said nothing. The student waited. "Master," he asked again. Still silence. Finally, after many minutes, the student became uncomfortable. "Why aren't you answering me?" he asked. The master softly replied, "You came full. I cannot pour anything into a full cup." The student was confused. "What do you mean?" The master looked into his eyes and said, "Go and sit in silence for 7 days. Say nothing. Do nothing. Just sit." The student obeyed. When he returned, his face was calm. His eyes were peaceful. His breath was slower. The master asked, "What did you learn?" The student said, "I learned that I was not tired of life. I was just never quiet enough to hear what I really needed." You see, my friend, silence gives you that gift. And in that silence, you begin to regenerate. Like a wound that heals when you stop touching it, your mind begins to calm when you stop agitating it with constant noise. Solitude is the medicine that has no side effects. Silence is the cure that costs nothing but gives everything. When you allow yourself time away from the outer world, the inner world begins to rebuild itself. Your cells rest. Your thoughts slow. Your heartbeat steadies. Your nervous system repairs. Your emotions balance. And slowly, you begin to feel like yourself again. Not the stressed, tired, always busy version of yourself, but the peaceful, smiling, calm presence that you were always meant to be. This is not magic. It is nature. It is you returning to your original state. Healing is not something you buy. It is something you allow. So give yourself that permission. Find your quiet place. Make time for it. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, be still, be silent, be alone. This is where the medicine of the Buddha begins to work deeply, not with words, but with wisdom flowing quietly in the space you create. So go now, not to do more, but to be less, not to achieve, but to release. And in that gentle space of being, healing will come, like a soft breeze in the forest, like a full moon rising without a sound, like a heart remembering how to rest. Silence is your sanctuary. Solitude is your teacher. And you are the medicine. Nature's wisdom and Buddhist simplicity. Sit with me, dear one. Let the noise of the world be quiet for a while. Today, I will not teach you through scriptures or big words. I will show you how the earth teaches us to heal, without medicines, without machines, only with stillness, attention, and understanding. Long before we had hospitals, the sky was the roof, and the trees were our doctors. The rivers cleansed us. The air refreshed us. The sun gave life. We were one with nature, and in that connection, we were whole. It's not that the old times were perfect, but people lived with the seasons, not against them. They followed nature, not tried to control it. Now, when you feel sick, what do you do first? Run to a doctor? Open a medicine box? Scroll your phone for a cure? That is the modern reflex. But before all of this, your body already knows how to heal. It just needs support, not pills, but peace. Not tablets, but time. Let me ask you something simple. When a tree loses all its leaves in winter, do you panic for it? Do you rush to put glue on its branches or tie new leaves with thread? No, you let it be, because you trust that spring will come. You believe that the tree will heal. Why then, do you not trust your own body the same way? The Buddha once sat under a tree for many days. No medicines, no food, no escape, just breath, silence, and deep observation. That silence became his healing. That breath became his light. That stillness became his freedom. Look around you. The birds are not worried about what to eat tomorrow. The clouds do not argue where to float. The rivers do not compare who flows faster. They follow their nature. And they are healthy. But humans, we forget. We eat without hunger, sleep without rest, talk without meaning, chase without purpose. This is the disease, and it cannot be cured by medicines. Nature is simple, and Buddhist living is also simple. That is not a coincidence. The Zen path teaches, when hungry, eat. When tired, rest. Can healing be that simple? Yes, but your mind makes it complicated. When you walk barefoot on the ground, your body starts to balance itself. Your heart slows down. Your mood softens. The earth pulls out your stress like a magnet. When you sit by a tree, even without saying anything, you feel comforted. This is not magic. This is nature reminding you, you belong here. Our problems begin when we separate ourselves from this truth. We sit in boxes, stare at screens, drink chemicals, rush time, and then wonder why we're sick. Can you live slower? Can you walk in the morning sun and feel its warmth like medicine? Can you drink clean water and really taste it, not just gulp it? These are not silly things. These are healing rituals. In Buddhism, we call this sati, mindfulness. It is not just a meditation on the cushion. It is living with attention, walking with awareness, eating with gratitude, sleeping with softness, speaking only what is needed. Even your breath, when you observe it deeply, becomes a natural healer. Most people breathe shallow because their minds are anxious. They don't even realize they are suffocating themselves every day. Go outside, touch a leaf, watch how it bends with wind but never breaks. That is strength. That is wisdom. You can be like that too, but only when you return to simplicity. You see, the problem is not that we don't know how to heal. The problem is that we don't pause. A flower does not bloom because you shouted it to grow. It blooms when the sunlight is right, when the soil is rich, and when the gardener is patient. You're the gardener of your body. Stop rushing. Stop pushing. Start listening. Buddhist monks live simply. They eat little. They walk slowly. They speak gently. They sleep early. They rise with the sun. Their medicine is rhythm, living in harmony with nature's timing, not the clock on the wall. They heal not by doing more, but by doing less. Once a sick man came to a Zen master and asked for a cure. The master said nothing. He just pointed at the garden. Confused, the man followed. The master showed him how to dig the soil, water the plants, and breathe while doing so. Days passed. The man felt stronger. His pain eased. His heart became lighter. No medicines were given, only presence. Work done with peace becomes healing. Even the act of sweeping a floor, when done without hurry, becomes medicine for the mind. When your room is messy, you don't bring more furniture. You clean it. Similarly, when your body feels heavy or your mind feels lost, do not add more things. Clean out the junk in your diet, in your routine, in your thoughts. Buddhism teaches, let go, and you will be free. Let go of what? Overthinking, overeating, overworking, overreacting. These are the real poisons. Healing is not something outside. It is what remains when you remove what hurts you. You do not need to be perfect. Just be real. Take a breath. Listen to the sound of birds instead of constant noise. Drink water before you drink more thoughts. Watch how your body responds when you give it love instead of pressure. Nature heals because it accepts. A mountain does not complain about rain. A lotus grows from the mud without shame. You too can rise from your struggles if you accept them, breathe with them, and live gently. In the end, remember this, you are not separate from nature. You are not some machine that needs fixing. You're a living being. Healing is your nature. Let go of the rush, the rules, the resistance. Be simple. Be still. Be soft. That is the way. That is the cure. Transforming pain into liberation. Listen carefully, dear one. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher that has no voice, but it speaks directly to your soul. Many people run from pain. They take tablets, distractions, entertainment, or even blame others. But a true seeker, a true student of the way, must do the opposite. He must sit quietly, open his heart, and say to the pain, I am listening. The Buddha once said, the arrow of pain strikes every human. But the second arrow, the one of resistance, fear, and reaction, is the one we shoot at ourselves. Imagine this. You step on a thorn. That is pain. But then you say, why me? I'm so unlucky. Why now? And then you replay it again and again. This is the second arrow. This is the suffering we create ourselves. In this part of your journey, we will learn not just how to reduce pain, but how to use it. Yes, use it to free ourselves. Buddhism doesn't remove the storm. It teaches you how to walk peacefully in the rain. Let me tell you a simple story. There was a monk who lived in the mountains. He had severe back pain. Every day it hurt to sit, walk, or lie down. One of his students asked, Master, why don't you seek a healer? The monk smiled and said, this pain is my bell. Every time it rings, I wake up. Without it, I may go back to sleep. You see, pain brings you back to the moment. When everything is easy, you forget to observe. You forget to breathe deeply. But when pain comes, suddenly every breath becomes important. Every movement becomes mindful. This is how we transform pain, not by removing it, but by understanding it. When your body hurts, ask it, what are you trying to tell me? When your heart breaks, ask it, what did I hold on too tightly? When your mind spins in worry, ask it, what am I afraid to see? Pain points to the part of you that wants to heal. Let's talk about physical pain first. Buddhism teaches us to bring full attention to the body, not to escape it. When you feel pain, don't run. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Observe how it rises, moves, and changes. You will be surprised. It's never still. It's alive, just like you. When you give it presence instead of panic, it softens. A Zen practice called just sitting, or shikantaza, means sitting with no goal, just presence. When you sit with your pain in this way, you begin to see it not as a monster, but a messenger. Emotional pain is trickier. It hides. It wears masks. Anger is often hurt in disguise. Fear is love seeking safety. Guilt is the voice of your inner child crying for forgiveness. So what do we do with this kind of pain? First, we allow it. We do not push it away. We do not judge it. We say gently, you are welcome here. This is called metta, or loving kindness. Second, we watch it like clouds in the sky. We do not hold on. We let it pass through. Third, we learn from it. Pain always carries a teaching. Maybe you have been living in a way that is not honest. Maybe you need a rest. Maybe you need to let go of an idea of who you should be. Pain is a mirror. It shows you where your soul is out of alignment. Many people think healing means never feeling pain again. That's not true. Real healing means knowing how to walk with pain without being dragged by it. There's a lotus flower that only grows in muddy waters. No mud, no lotus. Without pain, there's no wisdom. Without sadness, there's no depth. Without struggle, there's no awakening. In Buddhism, we call this dukkha, the unsatisfactoriness of life. It's everywhere. No one escapes it, but we can use it. We can walk through it with grace. You're not broken because you're in pain. You are becoming awake. Let's try a small practice right now. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Now bring your awareness to a place of pain, body or heart. Don't analyze it. Just feel it. Don't judge it. Just observe. Now say softly inside, I see you. I accept you. I am here. Do this often, and slowly, pain loses its sharp edge. It becomes a friend who walks beside you, not a jailer who controls you. Do not believe that people who look happy are pain-free. Many of them have simply made peace with their pain. Let me share another story. A young woman came to the Buddha, crying. She had lost her child. Her heart was shattered. She asked him to bring her baby back. The Buddha said, I will do it, but bring me a mustard seed from a house where no one has known loss. She went from house to house. Everyone had a story. A lost father, a lost friend, a lost dream. She came back with empty hands, but with an open heart. She saw that pain is not personal. It is shared. And when we understand that, we stop being alone. So here is a secret. Pain connects us. It opens compassion. When you have truly suffered, you no longer laugh at others' struggles. You become kind, soft, understanding. That is liberation. Liberation is not a magical place in the clouds. It is right here, in this breath, when you no longer fight life, but flow with it. When you hold your pain like a mother holds her crying child, something beautiful happens. You grow. You change. You shine. One last thing, dear one. Never rush your healing. Pain has its own time. The flower blooms when the season is right. Be patient. Be gentle. Be present. You're not just healing from pain. You are learning how to live fully, with love, clarity, and courage. This is the Zen way. This is the path of freedom. And now walk gently. The pain you carry may just become the doorway to your greatest peace. The Four Noble Truths as the path to wholeness. So you have come this far. That means you're not only listening, but something deep inside you is also changing. Your eyes are no longer looking for quick fixes. Your heart is slowly opening to something timeless. Now, listen carefully like a still pond receiving the moonlight. What I share today is the root of all healing. The Buddha's most important teaching. The Four Noble Truths. They're not just for monks in robes. They are for you. Yes, you. The one who feels tired of medicines. The one who wants peace more than pills. The one whose body is aching, but whose spirit is ready. Let us begin with the first noble truth, dukkha. It means there is suffering. Suffering is everywhere. In body, in mind, in heart. Illness, stress, fear, loneliness, they're all forms of dukkha. Even happiness that depends on outside things like money, beauty, fame, is unstable, and so it too leads to suffering. The Buddha did not ignore suffering. He faced it fully without running. So must you. Healing begins not by avoiding pain, but by acknowledging it with honesty and softness. Say gently to yourself, yes, I'm suffering. That alone opens a new door. Now the second noble truth, samadhi. This is the cause of suffering. The Buddha said it clearly. Suffering has causes, and most of them are inside us. Desire, craving, attachment, they're like fire. We want things to be different. We want more comfort, more pleasure, more success, more people to love us. We hold on to these wants so tightly, even when our hands bleed. We try to force life to go our way. But life does not obey us. This gap between what we want and what is, that's where suffering lies. Even sickness becomes worse when we resist it. Have you noticed? A headache feels sharper when we get angry about it. A fever feels heavier when we worry. But when we stop fighting, something begins to shift. Now, the third noble truth, Nirodha. It means suffering can end. Yes, truly. Not through magic, not by denying pain, but by removing its cause. When craving ends, peace begins. When attachment loosens, healing starts. When you stop chasing after things, your breath becomes deeper. Your body becomes lighter. Have you ever felt a moment where you needed nothing? No one to praise you. No item to buy. No goal to chase. Just you and the sky. In that moment, you are free. This freedom is what the Buddha calls nirvana. Not a place, not a dream, but a state where the mind is still, kind, and complete. That is health beyond medicine. Now, we come to the fourth noble truth, Magga. This is the path that leads to the end of suffering. And the Buddha, like a wise gardener, gave us clear steps. They're called the Noble Eightfold Path. No misteri, just 8 simple ways to live. Right view, see clearly. Understand life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Right intention, let your heart be soft, not angry or greedy. Right speech, speak gently. Words can heal or harm. Choose healing. Right action, do good. Don't hurt others or yourself. Right livelihood, work in a way that doesn't destroy your soul. Right effort, stay steady. Don't give up when it gets hard. Right mindfulness, be here. Not in the past, not in fear, just now. Right concentration, train your mind like a peaceful lake. Let reflect truth. These are not rules to obey. They are tools to walk with. Even if you take one step each day, you are already healing. Not just the body, but the whole being. Now, let me tell you something important. These truths are not theories. They are like the sun. You don't need to believe in the sun. You just need to open your window. Likewise, if you live even a little with these truths, you will feel the change. Your back will hurt less when your mind is not resisting it. Your sleep will be deeper when your heart is not full of anger. Your digestion will improve when your stress softens. This is not magic. This is natural. Just like a tree heals when you stop cutting its branches. You too will heal when you stop wounding your peace. So people ask me, but Master, I am not spiritual. I'm just tired and sick. To that I say, perfect, because when you're tired of the outside world, you finally look inward, and that is where the real healing begins. You don't need fancy things. You don't need mantras or rituals or crystals. You just need one small space every day where you sit, breathe, and observe. One space where you do not try to fix yourself, but just be with yourself. That is your medicine. Buddha never promised that life would have no pain, but he promised that the pain doesn't have to become suffering. There is a gap between what hurts and what we add to the hurt. Remove that extra, and what remains is peace. So today I invite you, don't treat these 4 noble truths like ideas. Treat them like your morning tea. Sip them slowly. Let them warm you. Let them stay in your body. If you do, your healing will not be loud. It will not need applause. It will be gentle, quiet, and very deep. This is not the end. This is the door. And you are the key. Close your eyes now. Breathe slowly. Say to yourself, there is suffering. Then say, there is a cause. Then say, it can end. And finally whisper, I will walk the path. Yes, dear one, you're already walking it. Living the cure, a natural life beyond medication. Sit down gently. Let the noise rest outside this moment. Take a breath, just one honest breath. The kind that feels like a gentle wave touching your soul. Now listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. You've walked with me through this journey, from pain to peace, from confusion to clarity. You've listened to words that your body already knew, that your heart was quietly whispering all along. And now, we are at the final part. But let me tell you a secret. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your new life. You do not need more medicines. You need more presence. You do not need more noise. You need more silence. You do not need more treatment. You need more trust in yourself. A life without medicines does not mean a life without care. It means caring so deeply for your body, mind, and soul that illness doesn't find a space to live inside you anymore. Can you imagine waking up and feeling calm before you even open your eyes? That is healing. Can you imagine walking without the weight of fear or pain in your chest? That is natural health. Not bought, not swallowed, but lived. In Buddhism, we do not treat illness as the enemy. Illness is a teacher. When your body aches, it's asking you to stop. When your mind feels heavy, it's asking you to look within. When your breath becomes shallow, it's asking you to let go. Everything that hurts is not a punishment. It is a signal. And everything can be healed if we learn to listen. You have learned many things in these 12 parts. You've learned how attachment causes stress, how thoughts create energy, how silence can restore you, and how your breath is your medicine. Now, I want to tell you something deeper. The greatest medicine is a life that honors life itself.